Call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you and welcome to the November 15th, 2016 Post Falls City Council meeting. We did open the evening with a workshop on public transportation. And we would note that all council members are present with the exception of Councillor Wolf, who did ask to be excused tonight. Ceremonies, announcements, appointments, and presentation. Have a couple announcements first. The 2016 Support, the End of Homelessness event is Thursday, November 17th from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the Kootenai County Fairgrounds. 40 different all-you-can-eat soups, bread, and water, all for $10. Bring money because myself, Mayor Widmeyer, probably Mayor Griffiths, and several others will be selling tokens as additional fundraisers, and we will try to fleece you, so please bring money. City offices will be closed on November 24th and 25th for Thanksgiving. The police department will be open. Post-Holidays celebration on December 5th and 6th at City Hall, the Chamber, and at the Jack. At City Hall, Winterfest and the annual tree lighting will be on Friday, December 5th from 6 until 8 p.m. There will be elementary school choirs, a visit from Santa, crafts for the kids, and refreshments. Also on Friday at the Jack, a sneak preview and wine reception from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m., which is free, and a Saturday morning tiny bite brunch and auction from 10 until 12 noon. Tickets for that are $30. And at the Chamber of Commerce on Friday from 4:30 till 6:30 p.m., there will be vendors for early gift shopping. We do have a presentation tonight. Presentation of the Rhodes Scholar Award to John David Douglas by Laila, Kral, LHTAC Director. Please come forward.
Thank you for having me this evening. My name is Laila Kral. I'm the Deputy Administrator at LHTAC, and I manage our T2 program. The T2 program provides training and technical assistance to all local highway jurisdictions in the state. The technical assistance portion is anytime any of your guys want to pick up the phone and give us a call with any roadway-related questions, we do our best to get the answer, provide the answer, connect you with the right resource. The training portion comes with classes that we provide throughout the state, about 7 months worth of classes throughout the year now, the spring and the fall. The classes cover a wide variety of topics. We have training courses, technical courses, professional development courses, and then a large section of the courses are related to maintenance. We have 2 certification processes or award processes throughout the program, the first of which is the Rhodes Scholar Program. To complete the Rhodes Scholar Program, the employee completes over 80 hours of instruction through 10 courses through our program. Many of our classes require an exam with an 80% to pass, so a little bit higher than maybe traditional school, and that is because we want to make sure that no one's wasting time, that our instructors aren't wasting time, and that when you guys are making the investment to send your guys to training, they're coming, learning the information from the class, and bringing it back to you guys here at the city. The goal is for all the crews to become more efficient and to be properly trained so that everyone's doing the right thing the right way all the time. When an employee completes the Rhodes Scholar process or program, then I like to come and make the award presentation in person, recognizing the employee in front of their council or commission for the work that they've done, the hard work they've put in, and also so that you understand, hopefully that you're seeing the value of what your investment is, the investment of having them go to training. So with that, I'd like to present John Douglas with his Rhodes Scholar. The award includes a certificate stating that he's a Rhodes Scholar, a hat with LHTAC T2 Rhodes Scholar, and a Leatherman tool inscribed with LHTAC T2 Rhodes Scholar. Again, over 80 hours of instruction completed within a 4-year period, an 80% passing on all those tests, and Again, the goal is for it to come back to you guys at the city level with your investment. So congratulations to John. Okay.
Thank you, Laila. John, thank you for your work, your dedication, your commitment. Congratulations on achieving the designation, and we appreciate what you do.
You bet, and I want to thank you for the opportunity that you've provided for us to take these courses, to further our education, and I look forward to the next step, the Roadmasters.
Good. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Mayor Jacobson, can I ask John a question? I just had a question. How long have you been with the city, and what is it that you do?
I work on the street department, so spend a lot of time in a dump truck and operate a little bit of equipment. And I've been full-time for 2 years with the city this November, and I was a temp for a couple of years.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Winter's coming.
Yes, it is. More time in the dump truck.
You're going to earn your pay, yes.
And again, a thank you from LHTAC to the city for your continued investment in your employees.
Thank you. Thanks for taking the time to come tonight. Are there any amendments to the agenda?
We have none tonight, sir.
Any declarations of conflict? Now, will you please present the consent calendar?
Item A is minutes, November 1st, 2016, City Council meeting. Item B is payables, October 25th through November 28th, 2016. Item C is professional services agreement, supplemental number 2 with David Evans and Associates for the 7th Avenue Capacity and Safety Project. Item D is North Place Subdivision Plat application. Item E is Offsite Improvement Waiver Request for 513 West 14th Avenue. Item F is easement granting Avista the rights to install and maintain a gas line along Hayden Avenue. Item G is an easement granting Kootenai Electric Cooperative the rights to install and maintain a buried electrical line along Hayden Avenue. Item H is agreement with H2O Innovation for rental of a pilot membrane unit. Item I is indemnification and hold harmless agreement for 360 Henry Street. And item J is agreement for rental of a plate settler from Meurer Research.
I've got 2 questions.
Okay.
First is on, 7th Street. That's taking more time. Bill, it said that you were looking for some reimbursement, I think, or basically a performance bond. My question is, it's taking longer than it was supposed to. Is that through any fault of the city? And is the city going to incur any additional expense because of it, or will it be covered through contract?
It'll be covered through the contractor. It's really not at any fault of the city. We've had some weather issues, but it's just the contractor getting out there with his crews and mobilizing. I think maybe they got spread thin and just couldn't fully man up for the job. So we do have liquidated damages clauses within the contract for extra days, and that's how we intend to pay for the extra services from our consultant to be out there watching the job. So
Thanks, Bill. I'm just a little cognizant of those things after the road chip sealing situation we had 2 or 3 years ago,
Right.
where it did cost the city money. So I appreciate your efforts on
yes,
it to make
thank
sure
you.
we're covered.
We do have that clause there.
Follow up on that, and it might be more of a question for you, but is the contractor aware that we'll be pursuing LDs, or has that process already begun, and are they cooperating with that?
We have had discussions with them. We gave them something formally in writing, and then have had discussions with them at the weekly construction meetings. Warren was beneficial with us on the notification. So,
And everything looks A-okay?
Sure. At this point, we're.
I know that's
At this point, I think the staff and the consultants and the contractor are working well to try to wrap this up as quickly as they can, and addressing, frankly, the overages from the not getting the job done as quickly as we would have liked to have seen it done. But we'll keep an eye on it and see where we end up.
Yeah, I know the amount here is smaller, but in my business, usually when LDs come up, then lawyers get involved in courts and everything
Yeah,
else.
and we've touched base with engineering, and we're keeping an eye on it.
Okay. Good. That's my follow-up.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, Bill.
Yep.
My next question, and I've already mentioned it to John, but John, I'd like you to come up. We've got 2 items on the agenda tonight. Item H, which is the rental of the pilot membrane, and item J, which is the rental of the plate settler. I know Councilor Borders had a question on this too. John, we had one of these items, at least one a couple weeks ago. When you start adding the costs, they're adding up fairly rapidly. And I think Councilor Wolf asked a question last time. And I'd just like you to reassure us, if you will, with these additional costs, that it's something that will be covered or recovered, et cetera.
Sure, that's a great question, and I guess I'll start with the overall purpose of the pilot study is to ensure that we have a project that will help us meet our phosphorus treatment requirements within the new NPDES permit. Those are among the most stringent in the nation and really most stringent anywhere. So to do that requires pretty sophisticated equipment. What we're trying to do is first prove that that technology is going to work. So we don't want to install something and then find out when we turn it on that it almost gets us to where we want to be. Second thing we want to do is get competitive pricing, so allow people to bid against each other. By doing that, we have to qualify multiple firms. Other cities have gone forward and found a sole source, only one or one best treatment technology. We're trying to keep that process competitive so we can have the vendors compete against each other for the best pricing. The third thing we want to do is allow efficient design. If we're not really sure of the design parameters, we won't be able to kind of pare that design back to exactly what we need. We'll have a bigger safety factor in the final project. And the fourth thing we want to do is provide a training opportunity for our operators to run this new treatment technology, membrane filtration, in a controlled environment without having somewhere between $10 and $20 million of equipment on the line if they do make a mistake with chemical dosing, for example. So to do this, what we're going to do is divert a small portion of our effluent to the pilot study, which is the equipment that we're asking to rent tonight is the pilot treatment equipment. And then over 6 months, measure the performance of 3 different vendors' technologies and ensure that all 3 of those are going to meet those goals. They are going to work, they're going to be efficient, they're something we can operate. And then once that's done, we'll be developing a list of eligible bidders from those 3 vendors that we're pilot testing. So the real question is all this money that we're spending, and it's substantially less than what was in the facility plan, by the way, which was $2 million. We're looking about less than half of that right now, even with these expenses. So will this expenditure save us money? The answer to that, in short, is yes, because we're going to have a project that works, a project that's been designed efficiently, and a project that doesn't have a bunch of over-design to it because we didn't know exactly where to design to. So I hope that answers your question.
It did. I just wanted to hear you say it again, that these are not unexpected costs.
Sure.
We want to make sure we didn't approve something, then have all these additional costs come forward. And I didn't think that was the case, but I know the question had been asked before. Council Borders had the same question, so I appreciate you taking the time to explain it. Lynn, does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. It just makes me nervous. Every meeting we come and there's something else, another expense for this project, and I just want to make sure that we all feel comfortable that we're on top of where we're at.
Sure, and I guess I should say it's been presented as multiple expenditures. We did look at this as an overall project at the planning stages of it. So you've seen the consulting contract, and then we found some additional technology to look at. So there have been, like you say, multiple expenditures, but all within that original intended expense.
That's important for us to note, so I appreciate that explanation. Thank you. Any questions? John? Any other questions on the consent calendar? Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Joe.
I've got more just curiosity, I guess, in item I guess it might be for Mr. Melvin. But the private sewer line, is that something that's normal?
Private sewer line?
Not always, but they have an existing private sewer line that fed a house that used to be on the back lot there. They're now splitting that into 2, and so they're going to run another sewer line through there. That existing line is within the easement. So in this case, I mean, initially we said, no, you can't do that, but when they pointed out that they already have one that was within an existing easement, back there, we said it just made sense to allow the other one. They'll put it right next to each other. The indemnification clause is primarily because they're not part of the 911 one-call system. So if somebody called for locates and they dug, they wouldn't go out there and locate their line. And so if their line was damaged, they're just holding us harmless for that. So
This might be a dumb question, but if they're developing this property into something else, then do impact fees for these kinds of lines for the city to put them in not apply, or is a private a private
it-
line the way to do it, or?
It would be it really wouldn't be impact fees, so it'd be their private service line, their service lateral that they're putting in to serve 2 housing units as opposed to the 1 housing unit.
So they're not getting out of avoiding a cap fee or something like that by doing it themselves rather than?
No, as a matter of fact, we'll credit them for 1 cap fee for the existing line that was there. They will be charged an additional cap fee for the second house.
Yeah, I was just curious how it all works. I've never
Yeah.
seen anything like that before, so.
Yeah, so it's a little unusual. Like I said, we don't typically like, private lines within those public easements. But in this case, because there was one already there, it just really made sense for what they're trying to do with that lot, so.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Thanks. Thanks, Bill. Any other questions? Entertain a motion.
I move to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Second.
Motion seconds, further discussion. Shannon, please take the roll.
Orson,
Aye.
Malloy,
Aye.
Henderson,
Aye.
Borders,
Aye.
Wilhelm,
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you very much. Next up is public hearings. Tonight, we do have one public hearing. It's for an easement vacation for lots 2 and 3, Block 1 of the Greensferry Grove Subdivision. I should have announced earlier, I apologize. If anyone wishes to speak on this public hearing, there's forms on the back. Please fill them out and turn them into the clerk. With that, I'll open the public hearing.
Mayor Jacobson, City Council, this should be a fairly short public hearing this evening. Essentially, we have a stormwater easement on existing 2 lots, lots 1 and 2 of Block 1 of the Greensferry Grove subdivision. The developer wants to come in with a different layout configuration on that lot. The garage would encroach within the existing easement. The 2 garages would encroach within the existing easement that we have there. So the developer just after the plat was recorded, the developer came back and says, hey, we want to reconfigure this swale. But to do so, they had to vacate the easement. The state law requires us to hold a public hearing to vacate an easement similar to a vacation of right-of-way. So the new reconfigured swale will accommodate the stormwater adequately for what we have there. They've written us a new easement already, so when this one's vacated, we'll just record a new easement on top of it. Very simple, very straightforward.
So we will
process.
vacate our easement for the stormwater
Right.
and replace it with a new one.
Replaces with the new one that covers the reconfigured swell. So just very straightforward, very simple process. Seems overly complicated, but the state law, Warren and I looked at it, so the state law forces us to go through the public hearing process to do this.
So is it safe to assume that that was the introduction staff report at this point?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the reconfigured swale the same size?
It'll be the same size, just a different shape. Correct. Yeah, so it's good.
Yeah. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Does the applicant wish to speak, or are we good to go?
We're good to go.
Good. Anyone wishing to speak?
we have none.
I will close the public hearing. You were right, it was straightforward. Councilor, how would you like to act?
I'd move to approve the easement vacation for lots 2 and 3, Block 1, Greensferry Grove subdivision.
Second.
Motion seconds, further discussion? Shannon, please take the roll.
Malloy,
Aye.
Henderson,
Aye.
Borders,
Aye.
Wilhelm,
Aye.
Thorson,
Aye.
Motion passes. Next up is unfinished business. We have none, followed by citizens' issues, which is the section of the agenda reserved for citizens wishing to address the council regarding a city-related issue that is not on the agenda. Chief.
Chief.
Evening, Mayor and Council. I just have a couple of items I'd like to bring to your attention. Item 1 is daylight saving time started on November 6th, but it's not too late to change your clock and change your battery. So now that I'm sure the clocks are done, but the batteries would help as well. Item 2 is I'd just like to brag a little bit about one of our members who's going to be honored on Friday at the Seroptimus 2016 Women of Distinction Award, and that's Jessie Meurer, our Director of Administration. And we're going to get to have lunch. We're going to be honoring her for her work in public safety, and we're really proud of her accomplishments here at Kootenai Fire and Rescue. So thanks very much for your time tonight.
Well, congratulate her for us, Chief.
I will. Thank you.
Anyone else? Bob, come on up.
Bob Flowers, good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. It seems to be a good night to bring this up since we've had stormwater and roads and a few other things tonight. I don't know what the schedule is for cleaning our streets anymore. I used to think that somebody that ran those big street sweepers lived in my neighborhood. They were around so much. But October proved to be a very wet month. And I was out there multiple times cleaning pine needles out of the gutters there on the corners of our streets because the water was actually getting up over the curbs. And we have not seen a street sweeper, a street cleaner, what have you, for quite some time. And as we all know that live here in town, we have pine needles. And pine needles can cause problems if they're not cleaned up. And I just was curious, are we done for the year cleaning our streets, or are we, I don't know. I knew October, unless they had a submarine, they weren't going to do anything. But
We don't have any of those. I don't know, Bob. Bill, can you address that?
Good question, Bob. In fact, yesterday at our staff meeting, Jim Porter had reported that they are behind on their sweeping. When there's so much water in the roads, it's just really hard on their equipment, on that vacuum equipment, and they really can't do as much sweeping. They can do a little bit of light water, but just with as much as we had, they just said it's really detrimental to a lot of their equipment because it vacuums it up as well. So, but they're working on it. He admitted that undoubtedly they're a little behind, but they're working really hard trying to get caught up.
Hopefully we can
with all
get
the
some more
neighborhoods.
streets done before the snow flies.
Yes.
For the
yes.
snow flies.
Better hurry.
Exactly.
Thanks again, Bill. Anyone else? Next up is new business. Tonight we have none, followed by ordinances and resolutions. And tonight we have one resolution dealing with record destruction.
Move to approve the resolution regarding record destruction.
Second.
Motion second. Further discussion? Shannon, please take the roll.
Henderson?
Aye.
Borders?
Aye.
Wilhelm?
Aye.
Thorson?
Aye.
Malloy?
Aye.
Motion passes. Administrative staff reports?
We have none tonight, sir.
Mayor comments. I have a comment and then a question. I'm going to look at Chief. Chief, you just give me a date. Holidays and Heroes kicks off
That was the third item I was going to talk about.
December 8th. So December 8th, Holidays and Heroes kicks off. I don't know how many years we've done this, but it's our first responders who operate off of support from local businesses and private donations, contributions. Schools pick out the kids, help them, take them out. Kids are identified. Come on up, Chief. You're going to be a lot smarter than I am at this.
No, he gave you the wrong date.
I was thinking of a different activity. We have the candy cane run here in the city of
Yeah,
Post Falls on the
okay.
8th. Holidays
He
and
gave you the
Heroes
wrong date.
are on Sunday, December 11th.
December 11th.
what is it called?
Holidays and Heroes.
Holidays and Heroes, and it's managed out of Post Falls Police. Charlene Holbrook does a mountain of work to make it all happen. She just puts it together and makes it all happen, so we're always really proud of Charlene. And it's Kootenai Fire and Rescue. We help out along with the local fire law enforcement agencies from in the Coeur d'Alene area, Post Falls, and then over into the valley as well. And it's a great function over at Greyhound Park on the 11th.
How many, ballpark, how many kids?
105? About 100? Yeah.
And Mr. Mayor?
I had candy cane run in my brain when you said the 8th, so sorry about that. That was my
Mr.
other
Mayor, if
item.
anyone would like to learn more about Holidays and Heroes, they will be presenting tomorrow at the Rotary Luncheon at noon at Garden Plaza, and anyone is welcome to attend.
Perfect. I think our own Chief Hogue will be our speaker.
will be there.
Hopefully he will bring the expertise behind it. So thanks, Chief. Thanks, Shelley, for that announcement, too. Today I was able to give the State of the City at Templins. It's hard to believe it's my third time doing so. You know, for me, it's been a pleasure, and it's been fairly easy to get up and talk because the City of Post Falls is doing well, and I look at the council I have the opportunity to serve with, and I look at our staff. I look at the growth we've enjoyed, and growth can sometimes be difficult to deal with, but I think we've handled it pretty well. I look at the new businesses, the new jobs that have come in, and again, it's really been my pleasure to be able to present and update people on the state of the city. Special thanks to all those who helped put it together, for the Chamber for allowing me the opportunity to talk, and for Kit, who really makes sure that I get up there and things work right for me. So I appreciate all Kit has done on that too. So that was today. It is on Facebook. I know Kit had it streaming live on Facebook, but the presentation is on Facebook if you care to watch it. And it's great because there's a bright window behind me, so I'm somewhat dark, so you really don't have to look at me. So,
Silhouette.
yeah, as they say, I have the perfect face for radio. So anyway, it was a good afternoon. So thank you again for that. Are there any council comments? Seeing none, we do need an executive session
Yes.
for approximately how
10
long?
minutes.
10 minutes?
Move to enter into executive session pursuant Idaho Code 74-2061C to acquire the interest in real property which is not owned by a public agency. Further, that no action will be taken and the session will last no longer than 20 minutes. 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Second.
Motion and a somewhat hesitant second. Further questions?
Can we make it 9 minutes?
Please take the roll.
Borders.
Aye.
Wilhelm.
Aye.
Thorson.
Aye.
Malloy.
Aye.
Henderson.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. We'll enter into an executive.
Stuff I went and walked on it.
Call the meeting back to order. Is there any motions to come forward?
Adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.